If you can get into that, Zahir Al-Hakim said, raising his champagne glass toward the red dress displayed in the center of the hall, I'll marry you on the spot. Laughter erupted among the 200 guests of the Metropolitan Fashion Gala. Cameras flashed, drinks clinked, and heads turned to see the target of the billionaire's joke. Anya Carter, a hotel cleaning lady caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Her gray uniform hung loosely on her small frame. She froze, clutching her cleaning cart, her dark skin glowing under the harsh golden lights. Zahir, 42, a Persian Gulf oil tycoon worth billions, smirked behind his glass. Come on. Does anyone have a pen and paper? Let's make it official. The crowd roared again. The red dress, a one-of-a-kind Lauren Beaumont piece valued at $850,000, shimmered under the lights, a masterpiece meant for models, not maids. Anya's throat tightened as laughter surrounded her. Someone in a gold gown called out, "Accept it, darling. Billionaires don't offer twice." The room howled. Phones recorded every second. Hashtag Metropolitan Gala, hashtag funny moments. Anya's hands trembled as she pushed the cart toward the service door. "Hey, wait!" Zahir shouted, still amused. 30 days. If you fit into that dress, I'll keep my word. The audience cheered again, as if cruelty was entertainment. Anya didn't look back. Behind the closed door, in the quiet service hallway, she finally let the tears fall. But instead of breaking, something hardened inside her. The humiliation boiled into anger and resolve. 6 years earlier, she had been a top design student at Parsons School of Design, on a full scholarship. Then her mother had suffered a stroke, and Anya left her dream behind to care for her. Since then, she cleaned luxury hotels, swallowing insults to survive. But tonight was different. She made herself a silent promise. In 30 days, she would return, not to marry Zahir, but to prove that no one had the right to define her worth. What Zahir didn't know was that his harmless joke would become the spark that burned down his empire. That night, in her tiny Bronx apartment, Anya opened her old laptop and typed, Zahir Al-Hakim scandals. Photos, articles, lavish events filled the screen, but hidden deep were labor complaints, quiet settlements, and rumors of harassment. She began saving every file. By dawn, she was at a rundown 24-hour gym. The owner, Rita, a former boxer, watched her step nervously inside. First time, Rita asked, I've got 30 days to fit into a size 34 dress. Why? Because someone bet I couldn't. Rita smirked. Then let's make him eat his words. But you'll train every day. No excuses. Anya nodded. She didn't tell her the real reason, that this wasn't about a dress. It was about revenge, respect, and freedom. Her days became a brutal routine. Gym at 5 a.m., hotel shifts until 3, another 2 hours training, then home to care for her mother. After midnight, she'd dig deeper into Zahir's secrets. One night, she found Yara Mansour, Zahir's former secretary, who had sued him for harassment years earlier before a secret settlement silenced her. Anya reached out. 2 hours later, her phone rang. You're the woman from the video, Yara said. It's gone viral, 2 million views. Most people are on your side. Anya's heart sank. Viral. But that meant exposure and opportunity. I read your lawsuit, Anya said. I think you're not the only one. After a pause, Yara replied, Meet me tomorrow. I need to see your eyes before I tell you what I know. They met in a small Queens cafe. Yara, poised and cold-eyed, wasted no time. Zahir is a monster, but a careful one. He keeps files on everyone. Blackmail material. He stores them digitally. But there's a physical backup in his lawyer's Manhattan apartment. She slid a note across the table. Talk to Jamal, his ex-driver. He knows more. While Anya was gathering allies, Zahir was unraveling. He scrolled through comments online. Imagine humiliating a worker and calling it a joke. Does anyone know who the woman is? I want to help her. For the first time in years, public shame crept under his skin. His PR team scrambled. Sir, we've tried to remove the video, but the more we delete, the faster it spreads. There's a petition, 50,000 signatures demanding an apology. Zaire slammed the phone down. That insignificant woman was ruining his reputation. Days later, Anya met Jamal. The weary ex-driver spoke quietly. He ruined my daughter. Fired her when she refused him. She hasn't worked since. I'll help you bring him down. He revealed the key, the lawyer's apartment, where Zaire kept a safe with his backup files. By the 28th day, Anya had lost 18 pounds, but what changed most was her eyes. Rita handed her a towel. You did it, but this was never just about the dress, was it? Anya smiled faintly. No, it never was. The Metropolitan Charity Auction was approaching, the final gala where the infamous red dress would be sold. Perfect timing. The Plaza Hotel glittered that night, its ballroom alive with chandeliers and champagne chatter. Outside, limousines lined the street. Zaire Al-Hakim had recovered enough confidence to attend, believing his PR team had contained the scandal. He was wrong. When Anya Carter stepped out of a modest Uber in a sleek black dress she had sewn herself, heads turned. She no longer looked like a cleaning lady. She moved with quiet purpose, a storm in heels. Inside, Zaire worked the room, all charm and false laughter. When he saw her approach, the smile froze on his face. Do you remember me? She asked softly. For a heartbeat, he didn't. Then recognition struck, and color drained from his cheeks. You said I had 30 days. Anya said evenly. The dress is right there. Should I try it on here, or would you rather keep your promise privately? The hall went silent. Murmurs rippled through the guests. It's her, the woman from a video, someone whispered. Zaire forced a nervous chuckle. That was a misunderstanding. Anya pulled out her phone. Really? Because the internet has 2 million witnesses. Phones rose like a field of glowing eyes. Zaire's smile cracked. What do you want? He hissed. Justice. Yara and 3 other women stepped forward, forming a semicircle behind her. You'll look at them, Anya said, and acknowledge what you did. Faces flashed on the projection screen that was supposed to show charity slides, emails, payments, messages. His voice echoed over speakers. If she doesn't accept the deal, destroy her reputation. Gasps filled the hall. Journalists began typing frantically. Zahire's voice trembled. You don't know what you're talking about. Anya stepped closer. Yara Mansour, harassment case 2020. Sarah Chun, settlement 2019. Nina Rodriguez, fired 2021. And Layla Oust, your cousin, paid off with $2 million. The last name hit like a grenade. A woman in a hijab stepped forward, her voice steady. You thought I'd stay silent forever. Zaire stumbled back, pale and cornered. Explain the emails, Anya demanded, pointing to the screen. The crowd stared as the secrets unfolded in public. Bribery, threats, harassment, all in his own words. Security guards appeared, but before they could move, a uniformed officer stepped in. Mr. Al-Hakim, you're wanted for questioning regarding the bribery evidence presented tonight. Cameras flashed as the billionaire's empire shattered in real time. Investors backed out. Contracts were canceled. His lawyer was caught destroying evidence. As Zaire was escorted away, his eyes met Anya's. There was no anger, just a hollow realization that he had destroyed himself the moment he mocked her. 3 months later, Anya's Bronx apartment looked different. A professional sewing table stood by the window, donated by a fashion company inspired by her story. Her mother, stronger now after therapy funded by online support, entered with her cane. They're talking about you again on TV, she said. Anya smiled without looking up from her work. Let them talk. On screen, the anchor announced, oil magnate Zaire Al-Hakim has been sentenced to 3 years for bribery and harassment. A $50 million fund has been established to compensate his victims. Anya finally looked up, not with triumph, but peace. Justice didn't need applause. Zahire's name soon faded from headlines. His family disowned him. His company dissolved. He became what he had always feared, irrelevant. But Anya didn't build her life on revenge. She built something new. Parsons School of Design reinstated her scholarship. 3 fashion brands invited her to consult. The red dress, the one that started it all, was auctioned for $1.2 million, funding education for low-income women. Anya didn't buy it. She didn't need to. She'd already created 12 of her own, each inspired by a woman she met during those 30 days. Yara opened a legal NGO for harassment survivors. Nina launched a top-rated podcast on resilience. Layla became a voice for Arab women's rights. And Anya, she rebuilt her dream. One rainy afternoon, a letter arrived. The handwriting was shaky. No return address. I don't expect forgiveness. You reveal me to myself, and that's a punishment I'll live with. You didn't destroy me, Anya. You showed me who I am. Zahir, she folded the letter carefully and placed it in a drawer, not as a trophy, as a reminder that power without compassion is just cruelty in a tailored suit. Graduation day, Parsons School of Design. Anya stood on stage in a red dress of her own making. Not Lauren Beaumont's, but one simple, powerful, and hers. The audience rose in applause. Her mother cried. Rita waved proudly. When Anya was invited to speak, she looked out at the crowd. "A few months ago," she began, "someone told me I'd never fit into a dress. What they didn't know was that I'd spent years trying to fit into spaces that weren't made for me, jobs that silence me, rooms that belittle me." She paused, smiling softly. The dress wasn't the problem. The problem was believing I needed to change to deserve respect. Applause thundered. She raised a hand. "So I didn't come here to tell a story of revenge. This is a story of rebuilding. Because the best response to humiliation isn't destruction, it's creation. Build something so true, so strong, that their opinion becomes background noise." Afterward, a nervous 19-year-old approached her. "I saw your video when I was 17. My stepfather said I'd never be anything, but you made me believe I could." Anya hugged her, tears slipping down both their cheeks. That moment, not the revenge, not the fame, was the real victory. As the sun set over New York, Anya walked home, diploma in hand. She passed the gym where it all began, waved at Rita closing up shop, then paused before the hotel where she'd once been humiliated. She smiled. She didn't need to go back. That chapter had already taught her everything. If this story touched you, if you've ever been judged, silenced, or underestimated, remember, you don't have to fit into anyone else's space. Create your own. Leave a like, share, and subscribe, because dignity isn't given. It's earned. And when someone tries to make you feel small, it's not about you. It's about the limits of their humanity.